My doorbell camera recorded me coming home while I was already inside. If you ever install a smart doorbell camera, promise me one thing. Never check the notifications after midnight, because if the app ever tells you, motion detected, you arrived home, while you're already sitting inside your house, don't watch the recording. I did, and I still don't know which version of me walks through my front door that night. I live alone in a small rental house at the edge of town. It's not isolated, exactly, but the houses on my street are spaced far enough apart that you can't hear your neighbors, unless they're outside. A month ago, someone stole a package from my porch, so I bought a cheap smart doorbell camera. It had facial recognition, motion alerts, two-way audio, the usual features. During setup, the app asked me to upload a few pictures of myself so it could recognize me. After that, every time I came home, I received the same notification. Familiar face detected. Daniel. It was annoying, but harmless. Until last Thursday. I got home from work around 9:30 p.m. I locked the door, heated some leftover pizza, and spent the next few hours watching television. At 12:14 a.m., my phone vibrated. Motion detected at the front door. I assumed it was a cat or a branch moving in the wind. Then a second notification appeared. Familiar face detected. Daniel. I stared at it for several seconds. I was Daniel, and I was sitting on my couch. My first thought was that the app had glitched and sent me an old alert, but the notification said live, and the small preview image showed someone standing on my porch, someone wearing my grey work jacket. I opened the live feed. The porch was empty. For a few seconds, all I saw was the dark driveway and the reflection of the porch light on the wet pavement. Then the camera speaker crackled. A voice whispered, "Daniel." It sounded exactly like me. I froze. The live feed cut out. When it reconnected, the porch was empty again. I checked the recording. The video began at 12:13 a.m. A man walked slowly up my driveway with his head lowered. He wore my jacket, my black jeans, and the same boots I had left beside the front door. When he reached the porch, he lifted his face toward the camera. It was me. Not someone who looked like me. Same hair, same scar above the right eyebrow, same tired eyes. But his smile was wrong. Too wide, too calm. He leaned close to the camera and whispered, "Daniel." Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a key. My key. He unlocked the front door and stepped inside. The video ended. I looked toward the hallway. The front door was closed. My boots were still beside it. My jacket was still hanging on the coat rack. I told myself the recording had been manipulated somehow. Maybe someone had hacked the camera and created a fake video using my uploaded photos. Then I heard the floor creak upstairs. I don't have pets, and the house was too small for anyone to enter without me hearing the door open. I grabbed the heaviest thing near me, a metal fireplace poker, and stood in the living room, listening. Another creak. Then slow footsteps moved across the bedroom above me. I called the police. The operator asked whether I could leave the house safely. I looked at the front door. The deadbolt was locked from the inside. I started walking toward it. That's when the footsteps stopped. My phone vibrated again. Motion detected. Bedroom. I had only installed one camera. The doorbell camera. There was no camera in my bedroom. Still, the notification included a live video button. I pressed it. The screen showed my bedroom from the upper corner, near the ceiling. The room was dark, but I could see the shape of someone standing beside my bed. He was facing the wall. It was the man from the porch. It was me. I watched as he slowly turned his head toward the camera. Then he lifted one finger to his lips. Behind him, the bedroom door began to open. I looked up at the staircase. At the same moment, my bedroom door creaked overhead. I backed away. On my phone, the man stepped out of view. A second figure entered the bedroom. It was also me, but this version was wearing the clothes I had on, the red shirt and sweatpants I was wearing downstairs. He walked into the room with the fireplace poker in his hand. I stared down at my own hand. The poker was still there. The video was showing me walking upstairs, before I had done it. Then the version of me on the screen turned toward the camera. His face was covered in blood. The feed disconnected. I didn't wait for the police. I unlocked the front door and ran outside. The porch light flickered as I crossed the driveway. Behind me, the front door opened. I didn't look back. I ran to my neighbor's house and pounded on the door until he let me inside. The police arrived 12 minutes later. They searched my entire house. No one was there. No broken windows. No hidden doors. No footprints except mine. They checked the doorbell recordings. The officer watched the video of the man entering my house 3 times. Then he looked at me and asked, "Where were you before this recording?" I told you. Inside. He didn't answer. He showed me another clip from earlier that evening. At 9:27 p.m., the camera recorded me arriving home from work. I walked up the driveway, looked at the camera, unlocked the door, and went inside. Normal. Then the officer showed me something I hadn't noticed. 3 seconds before I entered, a face appeared in the living room window behind the porch. My face. Someone was already inside the house, watching me come home. The police suggested I stay somewhere else for the night. I went to a motel across town. I barely slept. The next morning, I opened the doorbell app. All the recordings were gone. There was only one new video. It was timestamped 3:06 a.m. The camera showed my empty porch. After a few seconds, the front door opened from the inside. I stepped outside. Not the smiling version. Me, wearing the same clothes I had worn at the motel. I approached the camera and whispered, "He thinks he got away." Then I smiled. The video ended. I deleted the app. I unplugged the doorbell camera. I changed every password I had. But the notifications haven't stopped. Every night at exactly 12:14 a.m., my phone vibrates. Familiar face detected. Daniel. I never open the recording anymore. Last night, the message was different. It said, "Unknown face detected inside your home." And beneath it was a photograph of me sleeping. I'm writing this from a police station. At least, I think it's a police station. The officers keep asking me the same question. Which one of you called us? A few minutes ago, one of them brought me a mirror. There's no reflection in it, just an empty chair. And behind that chair, someone wearing my face is smiling at the camera.